We're live.
Slightly different.
Welcome everybody to Blood on the Bayou, the Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle we are running here on Final Show Films. My name's Julia, and I will be your storyteller for the evening. I am joined by a wonderful cast of people, and we will start our introductions tonight with Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. I am playing Mercy Ransom. I am a what am I again? Toreador, thank you. I am a Toreador tour guide of New Orleans.
And Jeremy?
Hello, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Catriona of Clan Giovanni.
And that's how you do that.
Yes.
And
Only took me 7 weeks to figure it out.
That's the other one.
There.
Hi, I am Shani, and I'm playing Guaya Vincente of Clan Asalite.
And Austin?
Hi, I'm Austin, and I'm playing Rahab Granger, who is a pipe thief.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, Graver, I believe, is your last name.
Graver.
You said Granger, like Hermione.
Granger? Oh, no, Graver.
And unfortunately, Drevian will not be with us tonight. They had some stuff come up, but hopefully will be back with us next week. So, as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights, eat the rich, fuck the Supreme Court. Anyone else?
Watch Sandman.
Watch Sandman.
Positive affirmations this week. Seriously, watch the show. I'm judging you all if you don't.
So much for the
On
positive
my
affirmations.
It'll be a positive judgment.
It's 2022. That's my version of positive anymore.
That lasted all of 0.5 seconds.
There you go.
So when last we left off, Simon had an unexpected visitor in the form of a Bruja threatening him with exposing his previous diablerie.
I think you mean unexpected snap.
Yes, unfortunately, it did go that way. As in, it quickly came to blows, and Simon almost lost one of his managers. Seeing no other option, Simon diablerized the Bruja and made a ghoul of the injured employee. The rest of our group on the return from the Bayou Gauche received a call from Destiny informing them that he received a hit on the security cameras set up by Agony in the Central Business District right before he left town, or so the group believes. Meeting up, the group informed Destiny that the information that was given to them by Armand pointed fingers at certain high-powered names in the city. Not being too happy with the news, Destiny then informed them that he would talk to Nero himself and that he invites the others to interrogate whoever they wish upon that list. Destiny then promptly allowed Kat to view the iPad that Agony had left, which had a video of 12 vampires entering a previously investigated warehouse, with only the small child and one other vampire exiting. Raising some alarm bells, the group then decided it best to split up, Guire heading to interrogate Ezekiel Thorne at his home in the northern part of the city, while the rest of the group, along with Destiny, headed towards said warehouse. Upon entering, they found a slaughter, and the group used their various abilities and disciplines to figure out the disciplines and the final moments of the victims that were in the warehouse. Learning the child vampire is aware that she's being investigated, Kat was left with the message that her father would be awakened by her and her followers. And we resume tonight in the northern part of the city with Guire. Having made your way to the northern part of New Orleans in Google Maps, come to me. I don't know why I didn't have you pulled up. Hey, you stayed on New Orleans. Did you? More towards the Lakeview area. Figuring out, Destiny had given you the address to Guire. Destiny had given Guire the address to Ezekiel's home. It is a small 2-story house, raised, simple white paint, black roof. There are 2 cars in the driveway, and from the windows, you can see faint cracks of white light coming through shuttered blinds.
No reason not to start out on the pretense of friendliness, she says as she walks up to the door and knocks.
There is a moment of silence, and then a loud cacophony as several things are knocked over from inside. And then you hear several deadbolts and locks undoing themselves. And the door creaks open slightly, and one brown eye looks out at you.
Am I speaking with one Ezekiel Thorne?
Yes, you are, but who may I ask am I speaking to?
My name is Guaya Vincente. I'm sure you've at least heard of me a little.
There's a moment you can see the eye sort of like look up and to the left. And the door slowly opens, and standing before you is a gentleman, roughly 5'6", on the shorter side, cropped blonde hair. It looks like at one point it was brown and had been dyed. Caucasian male, wearing a simple black tank top, pair of black basketball shorts, and currently not wearing any shoes. Can I ask what I did to get the devil of New Orleans to show up in my abode?
I wouldn't say it's so much what you did and more about who you know.
Okay. Perhaps we should take this inside.
I think that'd be best.
But he invites you in, and there is just a bevy of trinkets, boxes, papers everywhere. It is a hoarder's paradise. And he leads you into what he calls the sitting room, which is 3 couches and a large table with about 8 monitors, all playing different CCTV footages.
Very nice setup you got here.
I do pride myself in my work.
And what kind of work is it that you do, Mr. Thorne?
Peddle in information.
Good, good, because it's information that I've come to collect.
He sits down on one of the couches and lights a cigarette. Well, I don't know exactly how I can be of any help to you, but what tickles your fancy?
Tell me about Mr. Marquez Moore.
He was taking the first draw of his cigarette and then inhales almost the entire cigarette as he reacts immediately and then begins pulling it out of his mouth. Forgive me, I have not heard that name in a hot moment.
Can I tell what kind of reaction that was? Was that a legitimate, I haven't heard that name, or was that a, oh shit, someone knows that?
Give me wits and empathy, difficulty 6. That. That. 2 successes. Yeah, he's probably full of shit. He that was definitely the look of a little kid who got caught with candy after a certain hour.
Oh, I think you've heard that name quite a bit, considering it was a topic of quite the important discussion at the last Elysium that everyone was mandated to be at.
That is fair, I suppose. He begins lighting another cigarette. So, other than everything he might have done, why exactly are you knocking at my door trying to find him?
Because, and I do forgive me if I'm presuming, it is my understanding that you and Marquez shared, shall we say, a personal relationship.
There were a couple decades where we don't need to get into all that. Gentlemen don't kiss and tell. But
I'm not here for the sordid details of your affairs. I am here to know if you know anything about his activities or whereabouts. And the cordial demeanor slowly starts to freeze.
whereabouts, I can't really tell you. I can. You can't go giving away my clientele's personal information.
Unfortunately, I am engaged in an official investigation for the Camarilla investigating Sabbat activities. So if you are hiding information for potential Sabbat actors, I'm afraid that will not look good on you.
I suppose you are not incorrect. Um, exactly what do you want of him?
I want recent activities and potential hiding places. I want to know where Mr. Marquez Moore has been, what he's been doing, and where I might be able to find him.
Well, I can tell you a few of those things. So, first off, he's been hanging out mainly around Lake Pontchartrain, and he's been doing his best to intercept any of the convoys that may have come up through the causeway. Of course, you probably already heard about that.
Oh, I've heard quite a bit. But please, continue as if I know nothing, because I'm curious what you might try to hide.
I just want to say you're not the first person coming knocking at my door trying to shake me down, but I do.
But I can be the last, either for good reasons or bad ones.
He will reach under the table and you'll hear a few clicks. And then a small number pad will drop out. He'll then press a sequence of buttons. There are a few turnings of some knobs. And finally, he pulls one long drawer out. Can never be too careful these days. So, he picks up quite literally a little black book and tosses it down on the coffee table between the two of you. Page 36. That will be your phone numbers and any of his contacts that have recently reached out to him, along with, I believe, the one Irene Moretti you are looking for.
Oh, good. Offering more than you were asked for. Good. That's a good plan to try and get yourself in good graces, she says as she flips to page 36.
Well, I do not favor the inside of a fiery coffin or the the end of a stick, if you catch my drift.
Wise man.
As for his next moves, those I can't tell you, but I can tell you he's covering a lot of insurances for several vehicles that are coming into the city, and has plans for at least another 10 convoys to hit through the end of Mardi Gras.
Mm. Now that is some good information. She says as she takes down all the notes on the page in the little black book. How truthful do I think this individual is being in regards to I can't tell you anything more than that?
Give me another wits and empathy roll.
F6 again?
Yes.
4 successes.
Oh.
You think
Everything was a
he-
success.
There's something more he's not telling you.
Now, I applaud your acumen at doing everything that you can to try and make this end on as positive a note as you possibly can to ensure that I or someone else does not need to come back and finish the job. But that last bit of information that you're holding back would go a long way to making sure that you never hear from me again.
I do not know his next moves. But I can tell you, I think he might be having a soft spot backwards, if you catch my drift. Because
He's
he
keeping
wanted
an eye
y'all-
out for you.
he wanted y'all to find him.
You think he's feeling doubts with his allegiance to the Sabbat?
Oh, wholeheartedly. But that being said, his actions speak louder than the words he's told me. So take that with a grain of salt. He'll say he has told me that he is working for a woman named Sybil.
Does the name Sybil mean anything to me?
Roll me intelligence and occult, difficulty 7.
Intelligence, cult, diff 7. 1 success.
Success. Sybil was the name of one of the prophets. It's the name often given to the Oracle of Delphi.
Mhm.
There's something on the tip of your tongue about how that's important to vampire society, but you just can't quite remember what it is.
Interesting historical name. Worth looking into. Though prophets. There's only a few clans that have their hands in prophecy.
Indeed.
Well, thank you very much for your time. And I assure you that should all of your information prove good, you'll have no need to be visited again.
Are you sure I can't interest you in a little bit of voyeurism? He says, pointing to the screens.
I am curious what you've got to show me.
Well, and as he goes to reach for what can only be called Frankenstein remote,
Mhm.
Looking at one of the images, a familiar face crosses across the street on a traffic cam.
How familiar?
Intimately familiar.
Wait. Give me that camera.
He will hit a few buttons and it will pause and it will pop up on all 8 of the screens. Anything in particular?
Roll back about 6 seconds.
Taps a few buttons, the video rewinds.
That woman.
Taps a few more buttons. and it zooms in, and you are greeted with the face of a former lover, the ghost.
This is entirely unrelated to this particular mission, my friend, but I would consider it a personal favor to the Devil of New Orleans if you could find out everything you can about that woman.
Well, we'll see what I can do. Reach back out to me about midnight tomorrow,
I thank you very much.
and I thank you for not driving a stake through my heart.
I'm a woman of my word. You'll hear no more of me regarding the investigation. So long as our information holds up.
I will do what I can. And he will actually very gentlemanly see you out. And there is a slam of the door and all of the deadbolts going back immediately.
Mm-hmm. There's a shakiness that is almost never seen in Guire's gait as she walks her way back to the motorcycle. Oh, you were dead.
Our camera swivels back to the rest of the group. As Kat has just flung herself halfway across the warehouse.
Yep. Oh.
Rahab will finally look up from inspecting the bodies. What on earth just happened? Then she'll look over to where you flung from. To his face! It wasn't like that a minute ago. What were you doing?
Not relevant at the moment. Well, that's not true. Relevant, but I'm not getting into that argument with you. So there's a thing that sometimes happens. He sort of straightens up, stands up shakily. Where when you look through the eyes of a dead person and the other person knows that this might happen, they can plan for that contingency.
Are you implying that satanic rituals might result in sometimes backfiring on you?
I will stake you and leave you for the sun, bitch. Shut up.
Rahab, that's enough. Cat, what'd you
The
see?
little child bitch decided to leave a message for us.
Shut up, Ray.
One of these days, Rahab, I'm going to take you into one of my family sanctums, and what you will see will cause your mind to explode. Literally.
Okay.
But
Cat, Mercy just like
sorry,
the
I'm
time out.
on edge.
I,
Now is
It's not
not
you.
a great moment.
it's not you, Cat. Rahab, shut up. I know language. I don't care. Let Cat talk, and if you say anything, I'm going to sew your mouth shut.
Okay.
Destiny just reholsters his gun.
This is my new favorite dynamic. So I can tell you for certain that the older man's name is, wait. Hold on. As she's sorting through her memories and I'm rereading things. I feel like his name was in here somewhere, but I'm Alexi. I don't know her name, but she wanted to deliver a message that we can't stop them, they'll win, and implications that the entire Camarilla, or at least large portions of it, will be dying here. and something about mention of her father being very, very happy. She's somebody of very low generation, I'm pretty sure. Things that she was doing couldn't be otherwise, plus all the other evidence that we've put together. So if we're talking about her father, just consider that.
You also did see her using
Oh yes, and she is a Lasombra for certain. Or well, she is very probably a Lasombra. Or she was instructed in their evil fucking shadow discipline by somebody in the clan.
So father's going to refer to her sire then? Presumably?
I would assume so.
Not positive on vampire family dynamics.
Very probably.
And if she's low generation, would that make her sire
Even
one of
lower.
these protogens you're talking about?
No.
No.
That would be somebody who could easily murder everybody in this city. And I'm not just talking about the vampires. Without breaking a sweat.
In the blink of an eye.
In
I
the
don't
blink
know.
of an eye.
Enough for this.
It's very,
Well-
very bad.
So
Well,
let me just
Destiny,
walk
apparently
this
you
back.
did sign up for it. Destiny, you did sign up for it, and what's more, you dragged the rest of us into it too. So
Listen, if I could apologize, I would, but unfortunately, that is not my purview. So let me get this straight. Let me just walk this back. We got a toddler running around, claims that she's descended from, if I'm putting the pieces together, the Lasombra antediluvian.
I certainly hope not, but that would seem to be the case. It did seem to be a pointed message, and while I like to think I am somewhat informed, I do not know the names of random Methuselahs of that lineage.
I might as well just walk out into the sun. Fuck.
I
no,
can
no,
tell
no, no.
you that
You don't get to pull that card.
she was strong enough. All of these people who died in here, all of the licks who died in here, was just a temper tantrum. It had nothing to do with hunger, anything like that, except for those those two. One was feeding, one was for the message.
So father's an antediluvian. So thousands and thousands and thousands. Yes, before the flood.
Yes.
I know what that means.
The founder of a clan. If the lore is correct, 2 generations removed from Cain himself.
So actually, when we say of Clan Lasombra, her sire would actually be Lasombra.
Lasombra. Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
It is bad.
Putting things together makes me feel less comfortable than before.
Yeah, that's generally what happens with more information.
This is not a puzzle I want to find the full picture of.
Unfortunately, it's one that you do because
'Cause-
ignorance may make it painless, but it's not going to make it go away.
Willful ignorance would be essentially condemning this entire city of people, including ourselves, to die. Potentially horrifically.
just because you don't want to think about it. Yeah. What's your job again, Destiny? Didn't you have to take some kind of oath of some sort, or am I just making shit up now?
What is your job? I've never been sure.
Sheriff. Reed and I keep the order in this city. Unfortunately, I'm not doing too good a job with, millions of people entering from Mardi Gras. But that's beside the point. We've got two living, not breathing, but two living, walking Methuselahs in the city with talks of raising an antediluvian. It would be wiser to just fucking flee en masse. Of course, we're not going to do that. Simone's too prideful. On top of that, I believe it is our sworn duty as the Camarilla to prevent this from happening.
Moral obligation?
Don't you curse at me. Okay. We got some guys coming to clean up the bodies.
Delightful.
And just to clarify, if the living were to get involved with this, it would drastically increase the amount of bloodshed.
Yes.
It would be another flood,
Exponentially.
a red one.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
It would bring imagine this. If like I said previously, the idea that the Sabbat might be doing this in a way that, as a side note, attracts hunters to the city. Imagine
They
this
can
gets correct.
incidentally kill a large number of the hunters as well.
That the hunters can kill us. They don't care about the hunters. I would assume.
Oh,
Imagine it gets further out and things like the werewolves and whatever else is out there sees an opportunity to strike a blow.
That there's no dealing with hunters to potentially have them help prevent this.
No, probably not. I don't know many hunters, but I imagine that they would think good and would kill us before we, or try to.
You did hear that Guire has dealt with hunters before, whether that's relevant or not.
Not the cat. They would probably kill us before or try to before we got much of an explanation out and explain to them why it is in their best interests.
They're not really negotiators, in other
No.
words.
Interesting. Though
So-
with the company that I've seen, I can hardly blame them.
Needle, thread, mouth.
So lean her head slightly at you and pull out a sewing kit.
All right, now
To try.
I'm the voice of reason here.
Children.
You have. What's next?
That's my exact
This is
question.
so far above my level of knowledge. I don't know where to start. I am happy to continue working on this, but I need somewhere to go.
You're accountable to somebody, right, Destiny? Can we go up the chain at all? Or is that not a good idea?
The problem is that we've got rats on this ship if you haven't been able to gather that. And
So going up the chain could backfire horrendously.
Exactly.
Correct.
And well, my single experience with the prince here has been quite pleasant. They do not seem to be the most,
Stable.
I was going to say, have the most immediately rational responses to things. As Toreador are, is what it is.
I
So
know
I don't
what I
know.
am.
You did drive a truck into a river.
And threaten to sew somebody's lip shut. Yeah, I know what I am. I'm not.
Sometimes you evaluate your options, and violence is the best one.
Yes.
Not in character. Not in character.
Yes.
As I'm playing the pacifist.
I was like, wow, Rahab changed her tune real quick.
Sorry.
Uh,
The way I see it, you guys can keep following your leads, but I don't know if the Moore and Moretti pipeline's going to keep providing. If you get what I mean.
so should we be still? That's what my question is. Should we still be looking for Marquez and Moriarty, or should we focus our attention on something else?
I mean, this girl is the source of the problem at the moment. Yes, this girl and this person she's with. Do we have a name for her?
We do
No.
not have a name for her. We have a name for him. It's Alexei.
Alexei. Do we know anything about Alexei historically? Can we
Never
find
heard.
out anything about his history? Is there a vampire record space?
I mean, if people don't want to be found, they're not found.
Give me that iPad.
You can't hide forever.
Destiny will hand you the iPad.
This is not going to go. This probably isn't going to go well, but I'm going to scan through until we get the best image we have of Alexei. Click to screenshot it.
Mhm.
Open up an incognito window of Google images.google.com.
I was about to say, are you? Mercy's gonna go. Are you fucking using Google?
I mean,
You have
not
a
opposed
better
to it
option.
as a first chance, but is there a VPN on that or some means of making it not traceable? Because if we just go searching someone's face and they find it and track us.
This is an iPad. It is an iPad that is connected to the internet. Everything is already traced to us. Well, it's traced to this iPad.
Which it's an Apple product, so it's traced to us.
No, it's not my Apple product.
Okay, hear me out.
Destiny will just start cackling.
Hear me out.
Also, vampires don't leave fingerprints.
I've had in the river. I'm just saying it's already worked.
Yes.
It's like someone
cannot be
doing
your-
things in the river.
Eventually, Destiny will get a phone call from Guire whenever she gets out of that.
Find your happiness where it is. I like throwing shit in the river. Okay.
I'm going to crop it down to basically just him. Google image search that with the name Alexei and see on the off chance there's anything, including potentially art portraits that might show up of someone named Alexei
From like
Tumblr
that are
blog.
similar
200
to a
years ago
Google
or
image
something.
search or something like that.
Yeah.
Anything at
journal.
all.
Intelligence computers difficulty 9.
All right. Oop. I just realized I need to get in Roll20 on this computer too. It's looked like I've been in the game the whole time.
I so need there to be like a Tumblr blog or a live journal or like
Okay, cat. Here I am. What am I rolling?
Intelligence and computers difficulty 9.
All right. I am not. I mean, those are both things I have dice in, so that's the good news. Difficulty 9.
Or it's not
Um,
computers. What is it? Yeah, it is computer.
Computers, yeah.
Can I spend a willpower on this?
Yes, you can.
All right, I'm spending a willpower on it.
2
3
successes.
successes with the willpower.
So, typey type. I love it. So there's a few minutes and Destiny gets a phone call. But while you're working on that, Guire, Hello.
Evening, Destiny. I got some more news for you.
Fantastic as always. What's going on?
Well, first off, I got a name to put to a face of somebody important in this entire organization by the name of Sybil.
Okay.
Putting the name to the face will be part of the job next, but few important details. There's about 10 more convoys set to come in.
But I've known you for a long time, so just one more time for me.
It's about 10 more convoys set to come into the city.
That's at least 30 more trucks.
Mm-hmm. And apparently, according to someone very close to him, there's a good possibility that Marquez Moore might be regretting the turning of his coat.
Actually, that could work in our favor.
I've got a list of contact information for everyone that's reached out to him recently, including Irene Moretti.
Fantastic. Hey, you will hear him move the receiver from his mouth as he talks to you. How good are you with that thing?
I am competent.
Okay. You think you could backtrace some numbers?
I can certainly give it an effort. Probably not on an iPad, but you get me back home. You get me to somewhere where I can buy a computer that I will be throwing away immediately after. Then yes, I can search.
Okay. He resumes talking to you. That's going to be helpful information on the whole. Anything else I need to know?
I have a personal favor to ask of you.
All right, lay it on me.
If you hear anything at all, of a Turkish woman by the name of Azra, you tell me immediately.
Got it. Wait. Why's this coming up all of a sudden?
Because I think I've seen a ghost.
All right, then. We're still at the warehouse if you want to meet back up.
Heading your way.
Look. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You do a few searches. There's a few different times you're not like really getting anything, or you're getting random like abstract art. When you start fiddling around with quotation marks for searching, messing with any of the Google foo that you know, and pops a. There's just one, and it took you a minute of scrolling to find it, but there is an oil painting of a tall, blonde gentleman in a black and red emblazoned, almost looks like military uniform. You couldn't tell what army or navy it might have been from.
Okay.
But the important thing that sticks out about it is what almost looks like pen or marker drawing over top of it for a bunch of face tattoos, including one upside down cross in the middle of the forehead, matching exactly the picture you took.
All right. I'm going to Going to the website, the website that the image is actually from, does it list any information about where it was photographed, or where it was scanned from, or anything, or who the original artist was, the name of the original name of the painting, anything like that?
The original name of the painting was Soldier in Black.
Okay.
Um, there is actually a small little blurb about the subject themselves, a Russian soldier from, well, they use Russian in quotation marks,
Right.
from the very early days of that empire. Um, if the little blurb is to be believed, this painting's from the 1600s.
Okay. I do believe I've found our man. Show the image.
Does it give a name?
Doesn't have a name. Russian soldier painted in the 1600s, soldier in black. We already know he's currently named Alexei, whether that is a sobriquet or what, who knows. But that should give something to start with for information on him. Perhaps this can be passed to the prince to use their resources on finding out more about them.
It's actually not a bad idea.
There's nothing sensitive there that
Go ahead and
Yep.
he looks at his flip phone.
you
He
have an
looks-
actual email address.
I do.
Grab a bunch of information, screenshot shit. Boom. There, it's in your email.
Fantastic. I will show that to Simone a little later.
Wonderful.
What's the immediate next step for you four? 5.
I believe I'm looking up phone numbers. Apparently. Outside of that, wait till Guire gets here, and we should probably all be be aware.
Be aware of all the information.
Yes.
So
Makes
does
sense.
Destiny share the information that Guire gave them with the rest of the group?
Oh. He will snap his fingers. Yeah, so McGuire was actually very her investigation was fruitful,
Good.
and got a bunch of contact information, as well as a name for someone that Marquez says he is working for. The name was Sybil.
Sybil. I wonder if this is a little bitch.
Yes, they will nod. Potentially. Also, another bit of note. I don't know if y'all heard my. I already told you about the convoys.
Yes, there are convoys.
There are about to be 10 more coming into the city.
Oh, Jesus fuck.
On top of that,
How much
there
would the
is
Sabat? How much would the Sabat outnumber the Camarilla at that point?
5-1. But if they're looking at numbers this big, they're bringing in shovel heads. They're bringing in idiots. Or I don't want to entertain this as an option because it sounds horrifying. They're all fucking working together.
Yeah, I figured that.
And this is just the Sabbat from the surrounding territories taking New Orleans.
Well, it does sound horrifying. Tell me what we've learned in the last 24 hours that isn't.
Yeah, it almost seems like the past few nights have been a grab bag of what else can go wrong.
Yep.
Well, I mean,
On top
nothing
of
bad
that,
ever happens after you say that.
on top of that, I have learned that Guire has learned that Marquez Moore may be rethinking his position within our enemy's ranks.
It's a promising lead.
Is that. Forgive me. I am not incredibly familiar with those dynamics. Is that anything short of a matter of too little too late? Is there a chance?
If all hell is about to break loose and he switches back to the side that looks like it might lose, it'll definitely put him back in some good graces. Simone will have him killed no matter what. I think we're all understanding that that's the final outcome here, right?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Okay, as long as we're all in agreement.
But at the very least, she might be willing to play along long enough to get something useful out of it.
If we can switch him back, we might be able to get the rest of their plans. That being said, we gotta find the bastards first.
Yes. Well, we'll see what we can do about that. You, as the most sturdy member here, go and talk to our dear prince.
You all have my number. If anything else comes up, let me know.
Absolutely.
Will do.
I'll tell you what, if I could get a headache, I'd have one right now.
I can't, and I literally do.
He will give his hat to all of you, and Guire, you will pull up as Destiny is exiting. You'll light a cigarette.
If you're any good at this, she says as she gets off the bike, you might be able to find Marquez by tracing the insurance on those caravans coming in. Apparently, he's got all of it.
Do you have any pseudonyms? You know what he goes by?
I pull out the info that I copied down from the black book.
He'll take a look at it. All right, I can get a few guys covering this, making some not some phone calls, but I can put some ghouls on it for tomorrow. Good luck. Is all I got to say. I don't.
You going to inform the prince of any of this?
That's where I'm headed now. Tell her a bit. I don't. I think it best to tell her everything, but at the same time,
You need someone to tell her everything. I will stand in that firing line if you want me to.
I'll keep you on speed dial.
All right.
He will start walking off into the night, along with the three licks that were with him.
Once
Walk into the warehouse to behold the scene of the massacre.
once Destiny is out of the warehouse, a cat's going to go. If you will, oh excuse me, I need to make some phone calls to arrange some things if I'm going to get a computer so I can search for this information that we need. And she is going to walk out of the warehouse and down the street a block before she opens her phone. Or out of anyone's earshot.
Especially those who have heightened perception.
Yep. That is proven to be a problem before with this group. So,
Looking at you, Simon.
yep. And she is making she's making one call first, which is to oh god, I know I have a name for them somewhere. A the person who was her superior up in New York City within the clan.
Okay.
And inform them that due to serious threats converging on the city, you see, this is all in strictest confidence. If this information comes out, it will be very clear that it came from me. The clan might want to strategically pull back some of its assets from New Orleans because this does not look good. And ask if I should, and then ask them if I should inform our my fellow locals of the clan here in this city.
You are advised in a weird move. You are advised to tell Corinna,
Mm-hmm.
but not Elena.
Okay, that was what I was gonna do anyways. Duly noted.
It was commanded to you by a higher.
Now I have permission to not keep the bitch in the loop, so go. So yeah, then I will contact Corinna and pass that information along. Basically give her a full update of what's been going on. Obviously, this comes very discreet. You do not actually have this information, but you need to be aware there is bad shit going on. There are potentially Methuselahs of La Sombra in this city, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Inner circle, assassination, outnumbered 5-1, blah, 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 blah. And don't tell Elena. I was told not to tell her, so I assume Corinna is not supposed to tell her too.
Yep. So she will listen and let you go through your entire entire thing. That's all well and good, but I have a question to ask. How can I best assist you, cousin?
I don't know at the moment. If you could have, you know where you know where my residence is here, right?
I do.
If
do.
you could arrange, because I'm going to be busy with some other things, to have a clean computer shipped there. I'm technically supposed to be making a call to have that arranged right now, anyways, because I need to do some research because nobody else apparently knows how to look things up on the internet. Vampires.
It is a short fallen of our kind.
I need to track down some phone numbers. And I'm sure as hell not using my office computer for that.
No, of course not.
If you could do that, that would be a good start. I don't know. And just keep an eye out for when these convoys may arrive. When they do, let me know where and when. Or where, yeah.
I will get my usuals to ramp up the investigations
Appreciate it.
as to what comes in and out of my city.
And yeah, that's all I can think of at this moment because frankly, we don't know what we're doing yet. Because we didn't think this was going to be a dealing with clan founders situation.
Well, cousin,
Too big.
all I can say is at least your move to New Orleans wasn't boring.
No, it was not. Just be careful. I will keep. I will. I will be. Keep an eye out for your word.
Man, I meet you in the Vale.
Yes.
Click.
Yep. I will make my way back. So that takes however long that takes.
So, Guire, what have you disseminated to the rest of the group in the meantime?
Everything not relating to Azra.
Okay. So you are all aware of the things Guire has become privy to, such as that Marquez Moore has been hanging out around Lake Pontchartrain, that he and Moretti wanted to be found, that there's a possibility that he might turn, a whole host of fun nuggets of information.
So that's a situation that we found ourselves in.
Only question is, what's the next step or move or? I'm stumped.
I mean, it seems pretty clear to me that the best option we have that doesn't involve potentially getting killed by people who are way, way older than us would be to try to contact this potential defector.
If we can find Marquez Moore somewhere around Lake Pontchartrain and ascertain that he is indeed trying to turn back, we might be able to learn more about who and what we're dealing with.
What do we know about this guy already?
He's a former member of our sheriff's posse and general security force, and a former significant other of the individual that I got this information from.
So we have a lot of information as to his past. Do we know A, why he turned on us, and B, why he might be willing to turn back to us?
Don't know why he turned on us, but there's plenty of reasons to guess why he might want to turn back. She says, looking at the massacre on the ground around us.
Fair enough.
So finding Marquez, that's our next move.
It seems like the best way to get information that doesn't entail going toe to toe with Methuselah or two.
I mean, that would be preferable, yes. But a suspected murder and a Methuselah, I'm gonna have to go with the suspected murderer.
not really suspected when we saw it happen, but
Let's be fair. If there's a Methuselah out there, they're also a murderer at some point.
Y'all just gonna.
I'm not actually there yet, I don't think. But
No.
that's a me comment.
So we got a lot of info on this guy's past. So we just need to figure out where he is. Right?
Supposedly hanging out somewhere around Lake Pontchartrain in the Lakeview district, so that's an area to start searching, if nothing else.
How big is that area?
GM, how big is that area?
Fairly decent.
It's where they used to. It's where they used to secretly hold training missions.
I've
people
heard it.
would
I just don't know
notice
how
it.
big it is. Yeah.
I mean,
When in doubt, Google search.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Something JFK.
Damn it. Thank you. I needed that. So Lakeview District, you're looking at. That's not where I was looking.
I wish I could find Lake Pontchartrain. Fucking
It is here. Yeah.
oh, there it is. It's the big one
Yeah.
up north. Okay.
Yeah, it's the big
It
one.
is not a. Yeah, it is not a small.
It's the one the bridge goes across. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where the caravans are coming from mostly,
Yeah.
from across the bridge. So
So you position
Lakeview is a
yourself.
neighborhood of the city of New Orleans. It has an area of 1.61 square miles.
Yeah.
Depending on where you position yourself around Pontchartrain, you can. There's 100% way, especially like the Joyce Wildlife Management area. I think you can 100% be not seen at all. Like he's big.
yeah, so
So we're gonna need a little bit more information before we
well,
just go looking.
fortunately, Lake Pontchartrain and the Lakeview district are right near New Orleans State Park, which happens to be a place where people have recently been gathering.
What was that a benefit?
There are eyes and people who have seen things. The entirety of the city's vampire population, aside from yourself, was recently at the New Orleans City Park. Which means that there have been many, many eyes in the Lakeview area. I think this might be a conversation to have with a harpy. She might know people who would know.
Simon will say, "Oh boy, we get to go to Elysium again."
That tracks.
Oh,
It is actually a bad idea for me to go to Elysium.
Would you like to retire to your place for the evening?
I think that might be best. So keep me in the loop. You all have my number. If anything happens, phone call.
Do I know where Elysium is? Elysium still in the same place? Is it still in the art museum right now?
No, you were informed that Elysium would be in. Where was it that I said it? There's a country. The English Turn Golf and
what was that?
the English Turn Golf and Country Club.
Right. Oh, right. Not too far off, actually. It's just a ways down 90. Right over the Crescent City connection from New Orleans Park.
We're as big as New Orleans is. New Orleans is not big.
Yeah.
Well connected.
So Simon will make his way back to his shop. And it's about this time that Kat walks in.
Yep. I have a computer on the way to my house. What's the plan?
At the very least, I need to get to the country club to ask the Harpy about people who might have had eyes on the Lakeview district recently so we can locate Mr. Marquez more.
What she said.
Country club. I have experience with those. Sounds like fun.
And as the group gathers their stuff and makes their way to the country club, that is where we are going to go to break.
Alrighty. We
Okay.
will be back. You're on an ad break. We're back.
And we're back. Okay, so the group gathers and heads to the country club for Elysium that night. There is ample parking. The golf course itself is immaculately trimmed, and even in the darkness of night, is still lit up with topiary that evokes certain images of cryptids if you look the wrong way at certain animals that have been carved into it. You are greeted by the traditional two bouncers you have seen at most Elysium. They, of course, at this point, have recognized you by face.
Right.
And you are let in. And the atmosphere itself tonight is much more subdued than it has been at either of the last two Elysiums you guys have been to. Especially in contrast to Masquerade.
It's a good sign.
About how many other vampires are there?
From just a cursory look, you'd probably say in the 30s.
Oh, okay.
So a decent amount.
Not nearly as many as were here last time or the time before, basically.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Fire is basically scanning the crowd for the harpy.
Everybody can give me perception and alertness, difficulty 6.
I'll use my heightened senses, reduces difficulty by 1 to give me 2
Perception.
successes.
And 13.
2.
That's a
Okay.
botch.
That's
Yeah. -1.
You only have one. Do you only have 2, or is it 2 perception and no alertness, or is it one of you?
Correct.
Yeah.
You are not very observant. Got it.
Nope.
So, Cat, Guire, 3 out of 4 of you have immediately caught things of note. Rahab, you are just sort of, even with this small of a crowd, you are just sort of overwhelmed about what sort of debauchery is going on here. Because there is still just like open feeding happening.
So many debaucheries.
This baby can fit so many debaucheries in it.
Those are definitely words that you just said.
It's a joke to a previous.
Oh, no, I get it. Yeah.
I play.
It's the car thing. I'm just out of context. That's amazing.
Guire, you spot Charlotte, who is currently entertaining a couple of, they appear to be at least kind of no. They don't have the same pallid color to their face, and you're not seeing any of the discoloration in eyes. He is currently in a Paramore t-shirt with ripped black jeans, and her hair is done up in a messy bun. Though still somehow looking immaculate.
Mm-hmm.
Mercy,
Yes.
because Cat, I will get to you last. There is, in one of the many offshoot rooms as you are looking about, is a woman in a full-length red evening gown. Palette of color, flaming red hair, wearing a masquerade mask, who is talking to a few kindred around her and seems to be the one of the many lights of this party.
Okay.
Cat, looking around, sort of walking, taking things in, there is a moment where the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, and out of a side room, talking to a gentleman, steps Elena.
All right.
So, I know this is about to go in 4 different directions, but what is everyone doing? We will start with Shawnee.
Guire basically saunters up between the two kind and just like ever so casually puts her arms around their shoulders as she just sort of walks into the conversation that Charlotte is having with them.
And she doesn't miss a beat. So then, I don't know how it happened, but the truck ended up in the Mississippi. And they found it like it made it to Mexico. So like I'm not entirely sure what happened there. But yeah, that's one of the craziest things that's happened in the last few nights. And she would just sort of look straight to you.
Where did you find these two, darling?
Lurking about. She would just sort of rub her fingers on under the chin of the gentleman to your left. But I'm much more interested in why you're here this evening.
Do they both have the telltale signs of awe or domination on them?
These two, they're doing everything but drooling.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are just completely focused in.
If it's possible, and if not, that's total. If we all use distraction, totally miss. If possible, cats moved in with Guire.
Fantastic. So
I've
Quite
got
there.
some information to look for and a secret to share with your ears only.
interesting. How about you two boys run off and get me a drink? The two gentlemen exit rather quickly. She finds a seat. How can I help you tonight? Please, dish.
So first, there's good odds that one of the men we're looking for, Mr. Moore, is hiding out somewhere on the shores of Lake Pontchartrain in the Lakeview District. And I'm hoping, considering how many people were up north last night, somebody might have an idea where to look.
I might be able to find a few people.
That's the business. The thing for your ears only.
You need privacy for this.
I do indeed, if you don't mind, Cat.
Absolutely no problem. When you're done, if I could have a moment, please, Squire. And I'm
Absolutely.
going to move far enough away.
People sidesteps.
You know that I am always willing to help whenever you need me.
Of course.
I am hoping that in this one personal matter, you will be willing to help me.
I'm listening.
I believe I have recently seen a ghost.
She'll sort of purse her lips and point to Cat.
Not that kind.
Gotcha. Go on.
I can hardly believe my eyes, but I believe in my investigation I've come across surveillance of Azra. My sire.
Oh. Simone's talked about her. Didn't she die in a fire?
That was what I thought. But there's a certain Sensation of your heart almost beating when you see the love of your life again.
I wish I knew the feeling. That's a lie. I kind of do.
But if you find anything out about her, please, I would be indebted to you if you could let me know.
I'll get some feelers out. You know how I work.
I appreciate. And I appreciate as much subtlety as can be managed in this.
Naturally. I assume you don't want Simone in on this.
I would prefer not, because I don't know what the circumstances are or who's pulling strings to make this happen.
Completely understood.
And I thank you for this.
And she'll just sort of wave one hand. You still owe me for last time. I'm just saying you're racking up quite the debt.
And I'll be happy to pay it off whenever you feel the need to ask me for it.
So shall we invite your little friend back over?
Very much. And she'll wave Cat back over.
Smoothly slides back.
Do you two need privacy now?
I was wondering if I could steal your attention away, Guire, for a meeting I need to have.
All right. Business then.
Little bit, yes.
Go on, you got my attention.
And then just put an arm around Guire's arm and lead away.
Hmm.
See that person over there?
What am I
That's
looking at?
Elena.
Jeremy, would you please describe Elena?
Fuck it, I know I didn't. I probably should have, but I never really.
It's okay.
I'm imagining like Elena is a little bit being less, a little bit older in terms of generations of age generations, not necessarily vampire generations, also of that too. Into the family lineage from having moved from the homeland here. A little bit darker in skin. Like where Cat is very much like a modern woman, uh, uh, modern lawyer, etc. Elena is probably a little bit more old school, um, classically dressed, a little bit of an artifact of their time, which I believe is. Shit, I can't remember. Let me look at the family tree that I sent. Yeah, like 1950s, 60s era. Yeah, that's the most I got really.
She's currently in a very modest outfit, especially given the scenario you are all
Right.
in. A just a shin length dress, a very muted black and silver, in which her hair is pulled up into a Victorian curl. She's wearing a large ruby necklace around her neck.
I'm gonna murmur to Guire. So no, we haven't officially instituted the deal yet. So if that is something that needs to be formalized, I understand. But if you could simply tell me before I go over there, do you see anybody of your clan in that immediate vicinity?
If I look around, do I see Umar or any other Asamites around?
None that stick out immediately.
Not at the moment, though. If they are hiding, then it would be very difficult to see them.
I won't know, of course. Would you mind just accompanying me?
I can certainly do that.
Thank you. And make our way over.
Okay. Mercy,
Yes.
what are you doing at this point?
Well, I've seen the woman I saw is in like a separate room or a
Yeah,
is she
there are
okay.
several rooms to this um country club. That's the word I'm looking for. There's one main like there's one main hall, and then there's a few offshoot rooms that are filled with various artifacts or pieces of artwork.
Okay. Do I know her?
Give me a wits and streetwise difficulty 5. You should have plenty. You should have no problem with this roll.
Don't say that. Hey. It actually worked.
No problem. This is one of the 2 targets on your hit list. Not necessarily hit list, but this is Elena Moreau. This is the Crimson Mask. The Toreador Primogen.
Mm-hmm.
One of our 2 suspects
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
among the Primogens.
Thank you.
The other one being the curator.
Yes. How many people are in the room with her?
She's currently talking to about 5 people.
Is there a way to get in without being noticed?
You can roll me Dex and Stealth. Difficulty will go 7.
It's not gonna end
Because-
well.
You could also just do some social stealth because you are a Toreador and that
Yes.
is your Primogen. You would be excused for wanting to listen to them.
That is 100% true.
Oh, okay. I'll just do that. I'll walk. Mercy will walk in and stand, behind of the like enough to look a part of the crowd or interested in it, but not enough to like draw attention.
She is currently regaling them with a story of her time in Venice.
Okay.
And so, as I took my lover that I was with at the given time, and we finally made our way back to the hotel, we were able to end the night on appropriate terms. And there is a bevy of laughter to a joke that you are not really privy to. Say hi, everybody. Sorry about that.
Oh, good.
And give me. I just want to see how well you can blend in this. Give me charisma and performance difficulty. Then 6. Base difficulty. This is you attempting to just sort of blend into the crowd instead of looking like a newcomer.
If Mercy is anything like me, this is not going to end well.
Fantastic. No, it ended well. 3 successes. That's good. So yeah, you catch the laughter and ride the train immediately. You aren't really noticed. And then one of the gentlemen leans in and starts having a small private conversation with her. He says a few things. She takes out a black credit card and hands it to the gentleman, who sticks around for another like 30 seconds to like look the part and then quickly leaves. So where was I? Yes. So I've regaled you all night with everything, and I'm. It's been wonderful to talk to you, but really I should return to my haven. See, she rises, and surprisingly, there are a few cracks from her body as she stands up. And the group, just roll me a d10, Katie. That's all I need from you. It's purely an instinct thing.
Oh, I should put a space there. I should also spell roll correctly. This damn keyboard.
Okay. You notice very quickly that they immediately step to the side, and you go to, but it is, you noticed too late. And as you go to move, you are in a direct line with her. And she sort of looks at you for a second. Well, I haven't seen you in the age of a dog. She starts walking towards you.
I'm sorry?
You. Interesting. She will turn to the other kindred in the group. Leave. And there is a quick scattering of people. You have some nerve showing your face here again.
Not to repeat myself, but I'm sorry. I really don't know what you mean.
Okay, that's fine. You can play coy. Unfortunately, I don't really have the time for that this evening. So, Delilah, I would like you to get out of my face. You killed my sire, and I will never forgive you for that, regardless of how many times you come back and ask for it.
You- I really don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of Delilah. I don't know who that is.
Look, you were very convincing back in the 1800s. You're very good, but unfortunately, 200 years still isn't enough to get over that. So if you'll forgive me. And he is going to uh there's a very harsh thud against your chest as she just shoulder checks you and keeps walking. And she will turn around and walk backwards in the stilettos you can hear. If I see you again, I'll burn everything you love to the ground. And she will walk out of the room.
What?
Pat, Squire.
Yep. So yes, we'll make our way over.
So Elena is currently talking about a business venture, and you hear something about 200 ships. And she will turn and look at you.
I just smile politely. I'm not going to intrude. She's in the middle of conversation.
Squire just over Cat's shoulder, just slowly spinning her cane.
Yes. She recovers.
Mm-hmm.
So the 200 ships, we will go ahead and move them. And from there, you can inform the embassy that they don't quite frankly give a damn what France or Spain think about it. So we'll just reach up and pat the gentleman on the face, and he will. The two of you can see he's got eyes like saucers the entire time she's speaking and writing furiously in a notepad.
Right.
Go.
Yep.
And he nods and scampers off.
And she's gone, and she looks over. Aunt Elena, it's good to see you.
Yes.
Immediately walk up, and I am going for a hug. We are polite in public. We murder each other behind closed doors.
She will return the hug and do the traditional Italian kisses.
Yep. I'm sorry I haven't been able to see you in person yet. Since I've arrived here, I've been kept quite busy. How are you doing?
Fantastic. I have to ask, have you gotten my gifts?
I certainly have. It is most appreciated.
Fantastic.
I thought you might be, and I'm sorry. I'm not sure if you've been introduced, or this is Guire.
She will turn to look at you.
Squire Vincente at your service.
She will reach out a hand.
She'll take it.
Elena Giovanni. My pleasure.
Pleasure's all mine.
I wasn't sure if you were. Well, I didn't honestly think that I thought I might see you here, but I wasn't certain. But I thought I might if I did see you here with others.
Thereabout.
I'm sure that they are. And I'm sure that you heard about everything that's going on.
To a degree, but I have to ask, how is just everything?
It is chaotic, I'm not going to lie. There are things moving very quickly. I'm afraid I can't say too much more than that. Under orders, you understand.
Yes, of course.
But
You've
I
always been
would,
so good at following instructions.
yes, I know. I would say there are things are very likely under control for now, or will be soon enough if they are not. Um, both for the Camarilla and for us. Everybody has been properly informed.
I'll ask a simple question. You can give me yes or no.
Of course.
Do I need to move mine and myself out of the city?
At this moment, after conferring with our elders, I do not believe that that is something that we need to be concerned about right now.
Fantastic.
That said, if you happen to see a tall blonde man walking around with a young girl, you may want to steer clear.
Have Have you been around New Orleans? Those are everywhere.
You will, these ones will stand out.
I see.
You may want to steer clear of shadows.
Come again?
You may want to steer clear of shadows.
Interesting.
But I wanted to come by, say hello. I hope that things are well for you, and I'm sure we will be seeing each other soon. I'm sure you have plenty to deal that you're doing right now, so I don't want to interrupt too much.
Of course. No, we do have plenty to talk about.
Sure we do.
At a later date, though.
At a later date, once all this is passed.
Of course. Of course. She will give you another hug.
Mm-hmm.
And when she's has you held in really tight, you watch every step, because I'll know any of the missteps.
Don't worry, I will. And our
So you'll
queen
let
is
go.
watching you.
Mhm.
Yep. And I will step back.
A pleasure
Oh,
to
I'm
meet
sure.
you.
Yes.
A pleasure to see you again, dear niece.
You as well. Yeah, I will
Alright.
turn and
Tilts her head.
yep. Walk away.
Follow after.
Yeah, I'm just clear to stick next to Guire.
Mhm.
As in, just in case somebody wants to assassinate.
I mean, that's always your worry when you go to a party.
Yep.
I mean, there seems to be a lot of that going around.
Rahab, where exactly would you have gone once the rest of the group just sort of abandoned you in Elysium?
So presumably you said there's a lot of everything that I would be everything that I would dislike about Vampire Society is happening right now, pretty much, right?
Yeah. A little here, a little there, a little everywhere.
Awesome. Um Is there any like straight up, like people aren't straight up dying, right? Like you said, there's
No.
feeding, but there's
Well, depends on your definition of death.
I don't want to alarm you, but there are a lot of dead bodies in here.
This is gonna go great. Gonna go fantastic. Rahab's gonna first of all, poor Rahab. Second of all, poor Rahab's going to like unleash true faith and everybody will lose their minds. Spot's gonna be like, guess we don't need to wreck this city.
a vampire walks into Elysium but unleashes true faith. Like I feel like that would.
The vampire dies is probably the answer.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
it's poorly for everybody involved,
Yeah.
Yep.
but especially the person who did it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Once the holy shit, it's God feeling runs out, they're promptly staked and left for the sun.
yeah.
Like that was there's something.
You are barbecue.
Dead bodies, as in freshly dead.
As in Kindred.
As in there are vampires everywhere.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Not
there's
like
dead bodies.
corpses, not like
Okay, I was very confused. Okay, yeah, like there's dead. Yeah, I see dead people. I get it.
Yeah.
The twist is I'm secretly a dead people. It's fine.
Yes. But no, there doesn't appear to be anybody who is appears actively on the verge of death.
Is that generally discouraged?
Yes.
Yeah, feeding until death is discouraged in most situations.
Yep.
Social faux pas.
Yeah, it's a social faux pas to kill your food.
Because then it can't
But-
make more food later.
That's why we're Camarilla and not Sabat.
Yay.
One plays with their food, the other one kills their food.
Or rather, Camarilla and Camarilla associated. Adjacent.
Yeah. Also, if I recall, Kaitif are not particularly on the good side of the Camarilla.
No. They are not you are looked at like mutts.
Mutts
Oh, I
at a
can't
kennel club
wait to see
specifically.
this.
Yeah.
Man, this is just the best place for me to be. You know, we're I'm debating on the just find a corner and exist plan. Do any of these corners look particularly uninhabited and un
Yeah, there's plenty of space for you to become a wallflower.
You know, just go out to the golf course.
Actually, yes, there's an outside, I presume, that is still of the club.
Yes.
So after kind of doing that awkward thing at a party where you're like, all right, I want to avoid people, and then people are moving, and you're like, okay, I'm going to avoid people. Hey, you know what? Step outside. There's a lot more open space. What's going on out here?
There are a few people who are gathering, just sort of like idle chit chat. Other than that, nothing of note.
Do there appear to be any lone vampires out here?
Yes, there's a fountain not too far away, and there is one who is perched on the rim of the fountain, just sort of watching it.
When you say perched, I'm assuming you mean like in a relaxed fashion and not imitating a gargoyle.
Yes,
Okay, I have to clarify.
that is.
I don't know what hobbies 500-year-old vampires may or may not have.
I mean, in juxtaposition, there are just Tremere in the city, so gargoyles are a thing.
Oh, fair.
We'll never forgive them for that.
There's a lot of things you should never forgive the Tremere for.
I'm going to approach the fountain and stand at a distance that indicates I am open to socialization, but not pushing it with this individual.
The individual is a bit on the shorter side. not your level of short, but a bit on the shorter side, about 5 foot. Her hair is pulled back into a high ponytail, brown hair, brown eyes, pallid skin. She's wearing a dark blue, what you would assume would be floor length dress. It's sort of draped over the side and a bit into the fountain itself, and she's just sort of staring up at the water. You know, it gets to be free, but it is contained. Sort of a shitty metaphor, right?
Fair enough, but that it's free as long as it stays within the confines and boundaries that have been set for it.
I guess that's fair.
But that's also fair. What would happen if it was to be truly free, if we removed the walls of the fountain? Spill out on the ground, be soaked up in the dirt.
Chaos.
And it would lose itself, lose its identity. I suppose over the course of time would get another chance.
All
Knows
things
what it
are
would be.
cyclical. Just
You-
sort of look at you.
Do you often wax philosophical about garden decorations?
Oh, I wax philosophical about anything. Sort of
There's
foray.
there's a lot of time to contemplate when death has no meaning.
We are free yet contained.
I take
He'll
it you do
smile
not
and offer a hand. Eliza.
will extend mine. Rahab. Not one for the socialization, I say, pointing back at the house of debauchery.
Oh, no. My sire brought me here, and while I do appreciate the invite to the prestigious night of the week that happens every day, it's overwhelming, all of the voices.
I can certainly understand that. Your sire, then, I take it, has an active interest in your life.
Well, I haven't really been let go yet, so I've only been around for about 5 years. So,
Longer than me.
are you not? Should just sort of look around. Are you not on a leash?
My sire found my creation satiating to his immediate amusement and little more.
Interesting.
Ultimately, he felt it was an appropriate comeuppance for my
And
Totally.
what was your crime?
let's just say the irony is I am much more human in death than I was in life.
Interesting. She'll sort of look at you for a second, and you'll get this weird, almost like you're feeling a headache again for the first time since your unlife began. She'll just blink. You hold a lot of pain.
Yes.
It's sad, really. And then when are you going to tell them?
What? Everything has changed. I've been given a new chance, a new opportunity for salvation, an opportunity to be in death what I should have been in life. I've learned from my mistakes, from my arrogance, and it is best to move on from that.
Well, that may be true, but remember, those who do not remember history are doomed to repeat it. You can't keep running away from something and then hope to repent.
What is repentance if not recognizing the evil of your life and fleeing it?
She'll stand up and brush her backside off. That may be true. She'll take a handful of water and just sort of cascade it onto the ground. But unfortunately, all chaos is controlled to an extent. And you can only run from things for so long. I do believe she'll put her arms behind her back that I'm going to have to be going now. And then you will hear Eliza from the front door of the country club.
Your sire?
Yes.
I'll look at the man who called her.
It's a it's a gentleman roughly 5'8", sort of tousled blonde hair, 5 o'clock shadow. He's got black dress pants, a pair of suspenders, and his white button-up shirt is rolled up to the elbows, and he's wearing black latex gloves. A pair of half-moon glasses rests on his nose.
Who is your sire?
She'll smile. His name's Joshua. At least that's why he lets me call him.
Do other people call him something different?
I'm sorry, I messed that up. His name is Jonathan. Very close. Yeah, most people know him as the curator.
When I know this curator.
Yeah, that's one of the two.
Oh,
That's one of the two people on the suspect list currently.
yeah.
Well, Rahab, it was a pleasure to meet you, and hopefully we'll run into each other again on one of these less
Yes.
crazy nights.
What time of night is it, by the way?
It's about midnight.
I hope so. I will give her a nod. Good luck.
Thank you. I'll need it. She will make her way out.
I will sit at the fountain and You're like, all right, I talked to somebody. I did my socialization. I'm done now.
I peopled, and that's all I needed to do.
Yes, I'm people. I'm not going back.
That is totally.
There's about another half hour of just sort of idle banter and commingling that happens in Elysium. In
I
fact,
will find a drink and get one more blood point because that's all she is down from full.
if anyone wants to drink any blood, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah. Let me see how far down am I.
The
I mean,
cat probably
anytime I
needs
should
some.
fill up, probably I should.
Yeah. Mercy's
Assuming when
definitely
you
gonna
say
need
drink
some.
from blood, you're not talking about going to a fridge and pouring a cold one.
I think there are people handing out wine glasses if you don't really
Yes.
want to drink
Crack
that.
one
want
open.
something.
That is actually what a cat is doing. So that way she's not making someone scream in agony on on Elysium floor. That tends to be a bit of a downer for the festivities.
Yeah, I'll definitely take a glass of blood.
Fucking
Definitely.
Giovanni feeding
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Screams of agony.
Yeah, I'll get it. I'll get a blood.
There's a
point out.
Giovanni in Elysium.
Move along. Nothing to see here.
But Charlotte will eventually make her way back to the two of you.
Yeah. If you don't question it, Rahab, you can get some blood that is not directly from someone's neck.
Rahab's going to question it.
Where'd you get this? Shut up and drink.
Yeah. Was this free range or that obnoxious goth person in the restaurant?
Yes, they're all grass fed. So
Locally owned.
But was the cow happy when you milked it?
Felt no pain. They enjoyed it immensely.
that's like the comedian Daniel Sloss. No, she suffered horribly. In fact, the drill didn't go in the first time, and they had to just keep going. So
Delightful.
Charlotte eventually arrives with a wine glass, and she is actually sort of stumbling.
So with the alcoholic tonight.
She would just sort of give you an okay sign. Yeah. Someone is a lush. So, what I was able to find out for you. And she leans in really close and starts whisper talk. So, what I found out for you. Wait, what did you ask again?
Yes.
There were two people that I was having you keep an eye out for, or people who might know where they are.
Right. The not blood hunt people. Got it. Okay. So Marquez Moore has been spotted. Or at least someone who looked like him has been spotted. You know how the legalese is here.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to get blamed for not reporting anything. So, but he was spotted around Lake Pontchartrain last night in the late hours of the evening, early morning, like 6 a.m. before sunrise.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't imagine it's only midnight now.
And he was on the coast.
Yeah.
Which means if it was that close to sunrise, his house can't be too far from the coast.
Or at least wherever he's holding up.
Good to know. Then we can search along the coastline until we get a clue.
That and Irene Moretti was spotted. Shit. I have not had a drunk in a hot minute. You have to forgive me. Irene was spotted on the opposite side of the coast. Not like towards the Alabama side, but like she was out towards like
Towards the western end.
yeah, the side near the airport.
Hmm.
Which makes me wonder: are they not working together anymore? Are they? Did they have a spat? Did they have a fight? I don't know. All I do know is they weren't together last night. So there's that.
There's no.
On top of that, there was something else. There was something else. Oh, Simone wanted me to give you this. And she pulls out a slip of paper.
She'll take it, very carefully unfold it and look at it.
It's simple as the words, "All of you come see me."
All right. She folds that up. Kat, if you could go ahead and gather everyone else.
Absolutely.
And as soon as Kat walks off, did you happen to learn anything about my personal request?
So, and she will stumble, lead you away into a corner. Two things. One, your eyes are stunning tonight.
Thank you.
Two, have you heard of the knife of Baghdad?
Have I heard of the knife of Baghdad?
Roll me wits and streetwise difficulty 5 for reasons.
And wits, streetwise. Can I put a willpower into this?
Yes.
I will do so. If 5. Good thing too, because that was 2 1.
Okay,
So that brings it to a flat
just
0.
a failure. Nope, doesn't ring a bell.
No, I can't say I'm familiar.
Well, apparently there has been a Middle Eastern woman hunting down and killing a few not only Sabat contacts but also Camarilla contacts.
And they're going by this name, this knife of Baghdad.
Mm-hmm. If I had to guess, that's your mark.
Mark's a strong term, but thank you for that information.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go find a chair.
We walk you to one, and she'll guide her to a chair.
Note to self, Charlotte, no more alcoholics.
I'd avoid the stoners too while you're at it.
What's that like?
Like a bad time if you're that much of a lightweight.
I don't know whether to be grateful or offended, so I'll be both.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but you weren't exactly embraced with too much meat on your bones.
I was also 16.
Fair enough. But you're still skinny. So she nudges her in the shoulder and just sets her down in a chair.
Go get yelled at by mom.
Will do.
Be here. I was thinking that she was asking, "What's that like? Avoiding what avoiding the stoners is like." I've never done that before.
Nope, can't say I have. So, Kat, you find Mercy in an offshoot room.
We are reconvening. Find anything nice?
No.
Can I get an insight roll here?
Yeah. Give me
Perception, empathy, which, by the
Yeah.
way, I am real good at with my 3 dice.
It's like the opposite of Aiden.
Yeah, no. I am definitely short of empathetic people all of a sudden. Got 2 successes.
Okay, she seems like she's full of shit. She's holding on to something.
Mercy. Have we had
Yes.
an eventful trip?
We have had a very confusing one.
I see. Everything all right?
I literally don't know.
Oh dear. What happened?
So I literally don't know. Somebody doesn't believe me. Apparently I did something I can't remember to the Crimson Mask, and she has threatened my life and is calling me Delilah, and I have no fucking clue what's going on, and she doesn't believe me, and she thought I was playing coy, and I literally have no idea what's going on because I can't remember shit.
All right. Did you do this thing that you can't remember tonight?
Oh, I did it 200 years ago. Apparently.
They haven't killed you yet. They're probably not going to kill you tonight. You're okay for the moment. We will sort this out, I'm sure.
If I had a pulse, it would be racing right now.
Sorry, to clarify, who said that you killed?
The 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 Crimson Mask.
The Toreador Primogen?
Yeah, that's the one.
I understand your concern.
Do you?
Yes, I do. I mean, between you and I also have someone who is older in my clan who wishes me dead.
Oh, okay. So there's a lot of that going around. That's awesome. That's not really awesome.
She will
That's
reach
terrible.
out and she takes her hands. It's like, sweetie, I don't know how the Toreador work, but we Giovanni, we are a family, and well, we are a family. We are a family that fights, sometimes to the point of blood.
Is this supposed to be reassuring?
But there are certain ways that we go about it, and in the face of in the face of an enemy, we will always unite. This is our nature as creatures that we are. I would imagine it's somewhat in your nature too. Don't worry about it for now. If you want to talk about it and we can figure out what's going on, delightful. But for the moment, you will be with other people and you are okay.
Okay. Yeah, great. I'm gonna pretend to believe that.
That's good enough for me. Guire, it's time for us to reconvene. So we need to go find Rhea,
Okay.
who hopefully hasn't started a frenzy somewhere.
Just Rahab in the background murdering people.
Look, that
I
doesn't
was
put
just sitting in the
anything
corner
back.
reading my Bible peacefully. I didn't mean to invoke true faith. It just happened.
Yes, Cat is going to just sort of slide over to Mercy's side, put an arm around her waist, and we will lead her through as we go find Rhea.
Okay. It takes a few minutes, but you do eventually find Rahab out at a fountain near the entrance.
Probably legitimately reading through her Bible,
Right.
but not,
Not murdering. Yes. Darling, we're ready to reconvene. Do you find anything useful?
yes. I'll say, closing up the Bible and putting it in my pocket. I met a young woman named Eliza.
Wonderful.
You might be more interested in her sire, the curator.
I see.
Oh.
Perhaps we should all get together and talk.
Yes.
That's lawyer talk. I know that's lawyer talk. That's lawyer talk for some shit's gonna go down. Can we head to our doom, please? I really need to get this over with.
It's not doom.
Is it-
Legitimately, that
I'm
is-
not going to ask the stupid question. Something is clearly wrong. Are you in the mood to discuss it, or does it need to sit for a little bit?
Not with you. No
Fair
offense.
enough.
I don't know you well enough. I'm sorry. That came out really rude. I did not mean it that time. Other times I meant it. I did not mean it that time.
Well, Mercy, it is quite all right. Let's meet up with Guire and get our information. I'll centralize.
So you all meet back up with Guire and head to the second floor of this building.
Mm-hmm.
And sitting in what should probably have been a locked office is Simone in a red t-shirt, a leather jacket discarded to the side.
See, everyone was going more casual for this particular Elysium.
Yes. And she is currently painting with actual colors this time instead of blood.
That's good.
My friends, Guire says this as she enters the room.
She is sitting with her back to the door and doesn't. She waits for all of you to enter. She'll set her paintbrush down. So, Destiny has talked to me, but I would like to hear it from your mouths. She'll stand up and wipe her hands, and you can see the landscape she is painting is a very lush, grassy field. That is sort of a rolling hill. In the sort of twilight hours, a small girl is playing with with an older woman. They look to be in very, very dated clothing. So, inform me. What do I have in my city?
Well, to put it in the simplest terms, welcome to Earth.
More specifically, we have a La Sombra of unknown but very low generation with a ridiculous amount of power. An ally of hers, sibling, just another member of the Sabbat who knows, named Alexei, who is at least 400 years old. And things look to be coming very close to being the Cameral being outnumbered 5-1 by Sabbat. Worst possible situation.
And for the good?
We have some leads. That's about the best we can offer at the moment. We have faces, a couple of names, and maybe some ways to get more plans, to learn more information. But if you're expecting the five of us to fight off a Sabbat army, I'm afraid that's not in the cards.
We're good, but we're not that good.
I would not ask you to go on a suicide mission. I respect some of you, and I would like for you to stay around. So, this is what I will do. I'm going to put together a team, and as she goes Italian, I'm going to put together a team, and we will see if we can intercept the convoys as they make their way into the city proper. And then from there, we can start eliminating threats. You said you destroyed Bog's.
Yes, we
Sleeping.
took care of Balabog's coffin, so he won't be able to sleep while he's in the city. I don't know how quickly that will remove him from the equation, but it will at the very least put him on a timer.
We should not entirely discount the possibility that they may have planned for such a problem and could have either a backup shipment or one on the way. We may not have an enormous amount of time. That's what I'd do.
I have dealt with a lot of things in my day. She'll sort of sneer at the word. But war is not one of them. I mean, I've lived through all the wars. But this is terrifying.
The pair of Methuselahs wander in the city. One of them's going to get more irritated as it can't sleep, and the other one's getting irritated because we're mucking with its plans. I'd call that terrifying, yes.
On top of that, we have what could potentially be 1,000 Sabbat on the way in.
But yes,
Most likely the mass of them are going to be shovel heads, but there'll likely be a not insignificant number of actual threats there.
Doubleheads can be threats. Get enough of them. So yeah, that's where we are currently standing.
And if it is wars they want, it is wars they will get. We'll make a few phone calls. We'll
And
put
New
together
Orleans
a few teams.
gets invaded again.
And I hope is that we'll be able to stop this. And in the moment of silence, as you all just sort of take it in, her phone starts to ring.
Oh, good.
Simone LaRue, please talk. Says that again.
Oh no.
She will walk behind the desk in the room and usher for the four of you to follow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Squire shuts the door behind them.
She will tap a button. I want you to repeat that, please. And she will place the phone down. This is Marquez Moore. I would like to turn myself in. And that is where we will end for the evening.
All righty.
Okay.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Adios.